Afternoon, Yakima Rotary, Yakima Downtown Rotary, where Rotary ESP means energize, socialize, and personalize. So let's Rotarize today. All right, we're going to start off with music. And the music itself will be familiar to you because you heard it if you were here on my first meeting. You heard the tune. But today it has been Rotarized and has Rotary lyrics. The song is Imagine, in this case, Imagine Rotary.
Imagine religions and races respecting each and every one, promoting peace all around us, living together as one. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You imagine no rich or poor, opportunities for everyone, healthy mothers and healthy children, education for everyone. Imagine all the children growing up as one. You may say we are dreamers, we'll always help their dreams come true. We hope someday you'll join us and change the world to be as one. Imagine living with our nature, planting trees all around, sanitation and clean drinking water, and diseases all around. Imagine developed world around us with nobody to spare. You may say we're dreamers, we'll always help their dreams come true. We hope someday you'll join us and change the world to be as one.
That was very inspirational. Governor Karl, we're so glad you're here today to expand sort of our vision of what's going on outside of our immediate environment. I'm reminded of a story because, of course, yesterday, July 20th, 1969 was a very memorable date for a lot of reasons. As an avid Cubs fan, Ron Santo, the great Tacoma veteran third baseman of the Cubs, stepped up in Philadelphia and hit a home run. As he's rounding the bases and coming into the dugout, he sits next to his good friend and roommate Glenn Beckert in the dugout, and he observes, gosh, Glenn, I've never had a standing ovation on a road trip for a home run, especially here in Philly. Beckert's reply was quick. You still haven't, Ron. Take a look at the scoreboard. That was a man who just walked on the moon who was getting the standing ovation. We sometimes need reminders of what's around us, and even though we live our everyday lives with passion for many things, to put some of that right into the Rotary function and understand that function is great. Would you please join me and bow your heads? Great Father, let us not only value the year before us, but look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. Its brief course lie all worldly truths and realities of our existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday an achievement, a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Therefore, fellow Rotarians, look well to this day, and we thank God. Amen.
Thank you, Tim, for those words of inspiration. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to welcome guests. Do we have guests in the room? If you are here, would you please stand so we can acknowledge you, and thank you for being here. Yes, your whole family there, Martin. All right, we welcome you here at Rotary and hope that you'll come back again sometime and even think about becoming a member in the future. There is one person I want to single out who is a returning member to Yakima Downtown Rotary, Kathy Miller. If you're in the room, Kathy, would you stand up and be acknowledged? It's great to have you with us again, Kathy. Look forward to more meetings with you. All right, we have a member who deserves a blue badge. And Andy, you're way back there in the corner, so you better start walking this way. Andy is associated with Edward Jones Investment Company and has been on the Greeter Committee and is our chair of the Greeter Committee this year, and he's been at the door about every week that I've been here. So we thank you for that. I'm going to switch out your red bag for a blue bag. Officially a member. So a couple of reminders, Rotary Trust celebration today. I know it's been shown on the screen while you were eating, but maybe you didn't look at it. In case you didn't, it's at 4:30 today, and it's a celebration. It's an invitation to come join Rotarians from the other two clubs and celebrate our Rotary Trust. It's also a fundraiser in conjunction with the golf tournament tomorrow. And the idea is to raise a significant amount of funds if we can, because that amount is going to be matched by the Molly Davis, I don't know, foundation, but the scholarship. And that allows our Rotary Trust then to fund our either individual Rotary Club projects or 3 club projects. So it's the more that we're able to add to the fund in these 2 days, the more we can draw from it. So keep that in mind. If you have the time, love to have you drop by. I'm going to be pouring, and I can pour generously. Okay. Southwest Rotary has invited us to a program that is being led by a former House of Representative member who has also received John F. Kennedy Profiles in Courage Award for his efforts in looking at combating climate change differently and using private enterprise as a tool to do that. So he's speaking, let's see, on July 26th, that's the next Tuesday, and that is at 4:30 also, run to about 6. Southwest Rotary inviting us, and you're welcome to join them. Imagine Scholar Dinner, July 27th. Today is the last chance to participate in that dinner. It's a 4-course African-themed dinner that's being provided by Fat Pastor, who is well known in our community for a great cuisine. And it's not a fundraiser, but it's an opportunity to sample some great food, drink some South African wine, mingle with others there who are interested in the program, down in South Africa that we've been involved with as a club for many years, and should be a great time. But today is the last day to register for that. And I guess see me afterwards if you're interested, and I'll put you in the right direction to get set up. All right. Next, we are going to have a Rotary Speed interview. Actually, a couple of them. So if you haven't been here since I took over the mic a couple weeks ago, what we're going to do is each table, there's some pens on your table and some paper, and want you to pick out a scribe at your table, someone to write down information that you're going to get. Determine who is the longest term member of our club, and then get as much information about that person as you possibly can, and then you may be called upon to give us that information back. So you have 1 minute from now. Go. Thirty seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're done. Okay, Carolyn, Lorna, you are ready to pick out a table. Let's start with Carolyn finding, I'll let you pick the table, Carolyn.
Good afternoon. I am pleased to highlight Ms. Dana Berenson.
Lila, would you introduce yourself
Sorry,
as the
hi,
speaker?
I'm
Thank you.
Lila Moet. Dana Eliason. Dana has been a member of Rotary since 2015. She is currently the Director of Development at Heritage University. Dana is Dana from Montana, where she grew up, but she's been in Yakima for 38 years. She has one son who lives in British Columbia and 2 grandchildren, and she loves to snow ski.
All right, Dana, would you stand up so we can recognize you? Okay, Lorna, you picked your table. Oh, Brad Hansen? Oh, my golly.
Who gave me a Uh-oh. And who gets to talk about our friend Jordan Matson today?
Oh.
I'm so excited. This is great. Jordan Matson, otherwise known as JMAT, or as we like to call him in all of our board meetings, the instigator, has 3 children, Eleanor, Benjamin, and Peter. Charlie Eglin has to put up with him at family functions, unfortunately. And he's also distantly related to Tony Farina, which I actually learned something about my friend today.
Oh.
His favorite food is ice cream. Definitely not vegetables, definitely not seafood. Ice cream. He doesn't do sports, not his thing. He's a lot older than me, he's 40. He's from Sela. His favorite apple is the Honeycrisp for financial reasons, we'll just say that. He attended Davis High School in the IB program, so he's sort of smart, and went to YBC, and he has a dog named Finlay. That's what I know about Jordan. Actually, I know a lot more, and if you want to know more, just come back.
Hey, Jordan Matson, would you stand up so we can see who you are? All right. I'm going to choose one more, and I'm going to choose the one right in the middle with Charlie Robin, Doug Rich, and John Cooper, and who's going to get there with the mic first? All right. Oh, my, with shades on.
Doug Rich. We're talking about Mike Moan, who joined the club in 1995, born and raised in Yakima. spending time outdoors. He's a general contractor and also the chair, and knows a lot about Charlie Rod at the Capitol Theater. The most unusual thing Mike has ever done was, besides waking up this morning, he spent 3 months as a 24-year-old in Australia. So if you want to know how to talk like that, crikey, this is your guy. The strangest thing he saw down there was 12-foot tall anthills. Really enjoyed his time down there. Get to know Mike when you get a chance.
All right, Mike, stand up and take a bow. All right, well, thank you for joining me in that exercise. It's fun to learn a little bit more about our fellow Rotarians. Thank you, Lorna and Carolyn. Okay, coming up next, we have the notable Kevin Montoya providing us with Sergeant of Arms.
Well, I don't know what's going to be notable about this. All right. That is my wonderful wife, Anne. We went to England, and this picture was taken in front of the Amazon building where my daughter Jessica, former Rotary scholar, works. So she's living in London now in an area called Angel, or Islington, I think is the larger area. And we went over there to England and had a great time. Now, I think I do an outstanding English accent. I don't think Peter Arnold's here. Are you, Peter? No. He's not English? Oh. Well, of course then. I'm not going to do his accent. So, and my accent that I do, and I do this every time I'm going to England, I've been there several times, is I'll say something like, "Good day, Governor. How are you, Governor?" Expecting that everyone who I meet over in England will say, "Oh, I'm doing very well, Governor. How are you, Governor?" And so I say this, and my wife and my kids make fun of me. Well, we had a great time going over there. I practiced all my English, and we went around to a bunch of pubs like everyone likes to do in England, and we played a lot of pub games. So one of the pub games I really enjoy, and I used to play it all the time when I was younger, is it off? Do I press the green? Can you make it work? There we go. Is a game called Trivial Pursuit. Have you all played Trivial Pursuit? All right. Well, then this should be easy. You look like a smart group of people. I'm going to pick a question off of this, and I'm going to ask at first everyone in here what the answer is. You know the answer, you don't have to pay $1. Remember the green, science and nature? What fastener did Whitcomb Judson patent in 1893? Does anyone actually know this? There we go. The zipper. Yeah, Harry was alive then. The zipper. If you didn't know that, pay $1. All right. Now, next card, we're going to do a parlay here. Remember, green is the geography, and SL is, I think, sports and leisure. This is going to be a parlay, so you have to get both of them right. If you don't get both of them right, you pay. What is a banger in London? Don't say it to anyone. And then SL, how many bails are there in a cricket wicket? Both British questions. That should be pretty easy, I think. Can we get the next slide, please? Well, look at that. It's a sausage, but you have to pay if you didn't get both of them. A sausage and 2, all right? You think these are going to be mass fines? They're not. Somebody will know the next one. All right. Let's look at sports and leisure again. You guys look like a group that has been to a bar before and played a little darts. How many points is a bullseye worth in darts? If you like to play darts, you're in on this one. So if you don't play darts and you don't have any idea, you don't have to pay. The answer is 50. All right? Looks like most of the people knew that. Carter's paying back there. The next one is I'm going with geography on this one. This seems pretty easy because we have a group of very well-traveled Rotarians here. Which is the farthest south? Houston, Jacksonville, or New Orleans? Does someone think they actually know this? Who wants to venture a guess? Go ahead. Oh, let's see the answer. You're wrong, it's Houston. So if you didn't know that Houston is farther south than Narlands, you pay. All right? I didn't think that was that hard. Here's one for dog lovers. The arts and literature, I think it is. What's a Warm Puppy by Charles Schulz's Reckoning? I know we have a lot of dog lovers in here. Think for a second. All right, let's see the answer, please. Happiness. If you didn't know that a puppy was happiness, you should know that, and you should pay $1. Who doesn't love happiness? All right. The next one. Now, this one I think is fairly easy too, since we have a smart group, and we've got a smart group there at Harry's table, so let's just do one table on this one. I'll let you guys confer. So you have just a minute. The geography. What's the third largest state in the U.S.? So just this table right here. Go ahead and talk for a second, then give me an answer. You have an answer? Let's see the answer, please. Oh, you were so close. California. You know, I hear California's governor loves to go to Montana for vacations. All right, the next one. All right. The history one. This is for our honored guest, District Governor Karl. He grew up in Germany, right? H. What mayor welcomed John F. Kennedy to West Berlin? Do you know?
I do not know, but he did say that he was a Berliner in his speech on that day.
All right.
He was in Berlin and liked the German people.
That's strike one. Is there anyone else who can answer this question? If anyone else can answer it, just one more person, I'm not going to fine any of you. Who? Who said that? Willie Brandt. It had to be the museum guy. That's okay. No one's getting fined on that one. All right. Now, if you guys don't know, the World Track and Field Championships are going on now in Eugene, Oregon. Did anyone know that? I've been watching it on USA. It's actually fascinating to watch. Eugene, Oregon, the home of the greatest stadium in the Pac-12. So, sports and leisure. I should just make your question answer this one. Sports and leisure. What's the first instruction given runners by the starter of the race? Don't say it out loud. You're helping everyone if you do that, guys. Ready? The answer? On your marks. If you didn't know it was on your marks, pay $1. All right? Now, has anyone here been born in England? Has anyone here traveled a lot in England? All right, Charlie, let's do this one. You have a chance here to save everyone here from a fine. Geography, where is Britain's Royal Observatory? The Royal Observatory. It's not spelled the way they say it, because remember, they don't. Oh, now you got help, but I'm not going to let anyone. Yeah, you're right. There's the answer, Greenwich. I'm not going to fine anyone on that. But since we have such apparently an advanced group here, highly educated, the next one should be easy. What city is home to Yale University? If you don't know it, you're going to be paying. Don't answer this, Peter. Didn't you go to Yale? No, Harvard. Oh. On him? All right, let's see the answer. New Haven, Connecticut. If you did not know Yale was in New Haven, pay a dollar, and thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I don't like it when the Sergeant of Arms always tests our intelligence, and sometimes I fail at that, but today we have some special presentations. And I'm going to ask Trevor Green to start coming this way. We have the opportunity to present some awards to special people during a challenging time who have done remarkable work. So I'm going to let Trevor take it from there.
There's truly no greater love than serving an individual. And over the last 3 years, by the way, I'm Trevor Green, the proud superintendent of the Yakima School District. And the reason that's important is because we are recognizing some individuals that provided some tremendous service during the pandemic. I would like for Cassie Davidson to please come on up and join me here on stage. As she's walking up, I'll introduce her. Director Davidson oversees our food nutrition department. And when I came on board, we abolished the outside entity that was providing food services for our district, serving over 15,000 students. And she took on the challenge of bringing it back on board to have our own employees run the program. By March, we then were facing a pandemic, something that we didn't plan for, and we had tremendous supply chain issues, as all of you know. She led the development and implementation of her department's expanded operations to provide lunch and breakfast to all community children, not just our students, from March 2000 through the end of the school year, and she transitioned her entire food service staff to serve our entire community. Her hard work and creativity resulted in meal sites that were consolidated and offered 8 of the 21 typical sites as staging sites during the course of the last couple of years. With a depleted workforce, she actually even trained people that were not in food service, as we had custodians and bus drivers that were in danger of losing their position come into our food service department to accrue the necessary hours to, of course, maintain their employment. And during the time that she served in this capacity, we saw at one point over 128,000 meals served on a single day, which is a state record. And then in addition, her leadership resulted in over 2.2 million free meals distributed to community children from March 2020 to March 2021. That's just 1 year. Her leadership has been exemplary. To have somebody that serves in a position of food service acknowledged here by the community, by Rotary, is something that warms my heart, and it just speaks to the recognition that she deserves that often goes unheralded. So thank you, Director Davidson. We also note that you hosted and coordinated an additional 6 separate community farmers to family food box events during the COVID pandemic, and 30 to 40 pound boxes of free food were distributed to the entire community and to every student and family that wanted meals. That's over 5,000 boxes of food that were distributed over 6 events. So your leadership has led students and communities to have more equitable access to meals and nutrition so that they could succeed academically. Congratulations on recognition of this award, Paul Harris Fellow, and I'd like to invite you up to present.
Well, thank you. That was fantastic. I have to say, that is a remarkable story. I mean, we know how tough the COVID era has been, and not really knowing what people have done to overcome our the challenges. So this is amazing, Cassie. Thank you very much. And this is what we call a Paul Harris Fellow. It's a very distinguished award that we provide people in our community with special recognition, for special special service that you've provided. Service above self is our motto. So I think you've achieved that, and this is a token of our appreciation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, and now, while we transition, I'd like to ask Ms. Stacy Locke, our Assistant Superintendent, of Operations here to the stage. Little known fact by Stacy, so she actually served as principal in our district as well, and during her tenure before becoming an assistant superintendent, she actually was recognized as a finalist, national finalist, as Principal of the Year, which is a tremendous achievement in its own right. Over the course of the last year, it's been a couple of years actually, in her capacity as assistant superintendent, she oversaw not only the department that Cassie represented, but also technology, transportation, health services, which was huge. And she actually dealt and responded to everything COVID-related and has done so in an exemplary manner during the pandemic. She demonstrated leadership towards improving health and educational access of students in our state. Again, we have over 15,000 students and over 2,000 staff members. Her leadership and guidance increased equitable access for care for many of our students during the pandemic. She actually had this vision about a wellness center, and she was influential in developing and creating a unique response to the need for health services in our district. That vision grew to what is now the Yakima School District Health and Wellness Education Center, and it partners with local providers to address physical, mental, and social needs of our students. It is a separate site, so it is accessible by our community after hours as well as during hours. She also recognized that there was an extreme need for nurses during this time of the pandemic, and she was very talented in bringing nurses into our district to support our students during this critical time of reaction and trying to be proactive. She helped her district staff become experts and more knowledgeable in chronic health management, and emergency response and case management and student advocacy. Some of the accomplishments that I'll just share briefly with you is that she created and led a COVID response team that worked with community partners to mitigate the spread of COVID. She created technology solutions that helped us to better track and report COVID-related data. She arranged mobile vaccine clinics to be on site at elected schools to provide vaccines for students ages 16 and older. She actually was a state leader in COVID response, and we found that other districts would reach out to us to see what we were doing so that they could mimic some of the responses that we had during the pandemic. She actually made sure that health services staff were trained in COVID investigations. The reason this is so important is because the health district did not have enough investigators to go to all of the schools in our area. And had we not created our own internal tracking system, then we would have seen many of our schools in the area or our own district close because there was just not capacity within the health district during this time. So she literally helped keep 15,000 students in school by creating trained investigators to conduct thousands of investigations. Aside from that, she created a hotline to respond to families and staff and students, and also wrote a weekly article that helps support COVID health and assist in mentally challenging parts of dealing with the pandemic. Many, many more things, but you get the idea. Our district would not have been the same, hadn't the same response were it not for Stacy Locke and her extreme leadership. I thank her publicly for her efforts working outside of her capacity, making sure that when there was a need, a response that was necessary, that it wasn't, that's not my job, this is not something that falls within my job description, but rather stepping forward and making sure that we were serving students, families, and our community. Stacy?
I don't know if I really can live up to that.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm humbled.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All I can say is, wow. I'm sure glad I didn't have her job, but what an amazing job you have done, Stacy, for our community, for our schools. This is a token of our appreciation for what you've done, and we just want you to be recognized for your efforts in a very challenging time. There you go. All right, we have one more special award, and Sean Boyle from the Yakima Police Department is going to make the next award.
Thanks, sir. Martin Cueva Ramirez, could you please come up, and I'd like to welcome his family who joined him here today. On behalf of Chief Murray, I thank you for recognizing Martin for his outstanding work at the Yakima Police Department. He currently serves as the building superintendent. He started his career with the city of Yakima 17 years ago. September 1st will be 17 years. He worked at the Public Works city shops, and then he came to the Yakima Police Department in 2008 and became our building superintendent in 2014. We have a rather large building plus 2 annex buildings. Martin is responsible for all of the cleaning, maintenance of all the grounds and the facilities, and he provides exceptional customer service on a daily basis. Martin always has a smile on his face. He's always available for us, and especially during the COVID-19 when there was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of people went to work from home. Cleanliness was a big issue that everybody was worried about. Martin used his expertise and his professional recommendations to keep many of our employees safe. As the patrol division commander, I'm responsible for all the officers that go out in the field. We set up a lot of cleaning that we did on our equipment, not just the equipment in the field, but at the department. And I'm proud to say his efforts helped no one in our department in the patrol division test positive for COVID until the end of November, which I think is outstanding because you see Martin coming through cleaning, and it got annoying for me because he's always coming in, to be honest with you, but no. But I just want to talk a little bit about what he does on a daily basis. Lieutenant Cavan, I don't know if anybody knows him. He locked himself out of this is kind of just a story about what Martin does. Outside the ordinary, he's kind of probably going to laugh about this, 'cause I heard about it. He was locked out of his office. We couldn't figure out how to get in. Martin climbed through the ceiling to get down into the office to get it open for us. Since 2011, when he came to our department, since 2011, when he was the only one that's responsible for all this, I thank the city for finally funding. He now has an assistant to help him. So he'd take vacations, we'd still call him and bother him. But I can't say enough about the outstanding work he does. In 2020, he was recognized as the non-commissioned employee of the year, and I think it was long overdue. He'd been recommended before, and we'd always chosen someone else, but I think it was, like I said, it was long overdue. He deserves it every year, in my opinion, because everybody looks at the police department, they see the uniforms, but there's a lot of people that make our organization work behind the scenes, and Martin is an example of that. He's always got a smile on his face. He had some personal tragedy recently and always came to work, always had a smile on his face, but I can't thank him enough. I know Chief Murray can't thank him enough, and thank you for recognizing for the outstanding work that he does on a daily basis. So.
Well, Martin, you do have a great smile, I have to say. When I met you this morning, beaming smile. COVID has been a tough time for everybody, and cleanliness in a public facility, certainly with our police officers, making sure that they're healthy so they can go out on patrol and maintaining the rest of the building, climbing through ceilings to get doors unlocked for those officers who can't figure it out. So congratulations for a job well done. It's actually pretty humbling to think about our recipients and the work that they have done over the last 3 years. And we're proud as a Rotary Club to recognize you for those efforts. Thank you. And right now we have past President Eric Silvers.
Hello, everyone. I want to introduce you to, well, first of all, President Rick, fellow Rotarians and guests, I want to introduce you to our new governor, our district governor, Karl Ruether. He's a wonderful gentleman, and as a brief introduction, just want to let you know he was raised in Germany. He came here back in 1986. He has 3 grown children, and he lives outside of Leavenworth. He's a great person to get to know, and also his wonderful wife, Denise. I had the pleasure of being able to run around with him all day yesterday and today, so I listened to his words. He's a great guy. I tell you, this is a privilege to be able to have him as our district governor, Karl Ruether.
Gosh, with that introduction, I'm a little tongue-tied now. I'm really not sure what to say. Eric, thank you. But before I start the presentation, I think it's probably appropriate for me to honor and thank a few folks in the room that have long provided service to our district. Darrell Blue and his wife Peg, past district governor. Thank you, Darrell. We have two assistant district governors here in the room, unless John bugged out. Is he still here? There he is. So John Cooper, Area 11, and Eric Silver, Area 10. Thank you. I finally met Carter Field today in person. Where are you, Carter? Did he leave? Anyway, Carter has been working on the Youth Exchange Committee for a lot of years and has helped us there tremendously. Thank you, Carter. And then Dwayne keeps all the technology going for us. So Dwayne, thank you. I bring you greetings from our international president, Jennifer Jones. She asked all of us to dream big and take action. She commissioned a painting. It's called Imagine One's Dream. I have a replica here, and her brother is a well-known artist in Chicago, and he was able to make this painting, and it's mixed media, contemporary abstract style, and he did not use any paintbrushes. He just used his hands. There are 80 layers of paint and material on the original piece of art, such as sand from their cottage. He shredded the four-way test in rotary objectives and put them in here. There's staples, and it's just a fabulous painting. Once that painting was completed, Jennifer printed 1,600 limited edition prints. Each incoming district governor was given a copy to be used in a fundraising effort for the foundation or Polio Plus. The copy I have will be auctioned off at the conference in Leavenworth next year. The theme tie that we were received, and my wife is wearing the scarf down here, was based on this artwork. And it's been, it's fabulous. I have information back there that you can look and read and see if there's more, if you're interested in more information. As you all know, sadly, the pandemic shut us down. And this year is, for the district and for so many of you in the room, is a rebuilding year. For our district, especially youth services suffered tremendously. We haven't had RILA in about 5 years. Interact went all but shut down. Youth exchange could not occur. Luckily for us, this year, 19 children will be going out and coming in. So we're on our way back. But we really need to restart RILA. We really need to restart Interact. And I'm asking all the clubs in the district to please support youth services, sponsor an Interact club or 2 or 3, considering the size of Yakima, but also send a student to RILA. We will have RILA again. It'll take place likely next year because we're in the planning process, but it'll be at the Lake Wenatchee YMCA camp that's near Leavenworth. We also have a Rotex club, in case you did not know. Rotex is an e-club helmed by Susan McIntyre, and that is a e-club for all former youth exchange students, so they can get together on a periodic basis to stay connected. If you have not contacted your former exchange students, please do so and let them know that that exists. They would love to see how their friends are doing, and I'm sure you would love to hear from them to see how they changed and developed since you've seen them last. You've heard this likely before. There's a presidential citation, or now called the Rotary citation. I found it to be a very good roadmap for any club to follow. And last year, our clubs in the district, we did fairly well. We had 40 clubs out of 57 achieve the Rotary Foundation. This year, I'm hoping to make it 100%. There are 25 criteria in that list. Only 13 have to be achieved to make that happen. you've heard earlier, and you were able to award 2 Paul Harris Fellows. Congratulations to the recipients, and thank you for all the work that you did. Those 2, that's $2,000 donation. That's about 3,400 children can be saved with those amounts from polio. It's amazing what the Rotary Foundation does for us. And the Rotary Foundation keeps everything together and makes things work. Did you know that the polio eradication program actually started in our district? Everybody know that? When Dr. Ad Cadman from the Wenatchee Rotary Club was RI president back in '85, '86, he was the one who signed the documents for the Polio Plus program. To me, that is a fact that all Rotarians in our district can and should be very proud of. I know I am. It's amazing. His theme that year was, "You are the key." And if I was down there, I would come around and take your hand. You are the key. We all are the key to Rotary's long-term success and viability. Without us, the members, Rotary cannot achieve what we endeavor to do. Jennifer Jones asked all the incoming district governors to form 2 new clubs this Rotary year. I thought that was a pretty tall order when that first came around. But since then, I've looked at our district map, and there are areas where we have no Rotary representation. But at the same time, I thought it would be a really good idea to perhaps have a district-wide e-club for vets and first responders, to elevate those folks that do work on our behalf daily and help us so much to help each other in a better way and communicate with these folks. And that's just something to think about, because I don't have an idea how to exactly start that, but there's 2,400 of you and only one of me, so an idea will come, and I'm sure we can figure this out. And you've seen this here also. We have, and when it comes to membership, we have a little bit of a revolving door. And how do we reimagine our membership approach? Throughout my training, I learned that our district is home to over 700 wineries, not to mention distilleries and breweries that seem to be popping up all around us. Have we asked those folks to join our family of Rotary? I'm not sure. Should we? I think so. Could there be 700 members hiding in plain sight just because we haven't asked them? Think about it. On that note, I have a question for you. In a bacon and egg breakfast, what's the difference between the pig and the chicken? Anybody know? That's a new trivia question for you. Where are you? The chicken is involved where the pig is fully committed. So the question is, how do we apply that to Rotary? Are you all involved in Rotary, or are you committed Rotarians? And is that partially the reason why we have such a revolving door when it comes to membership? Just a question to ponder. We have to reimagine our membership approach and see how we re-engage our existing members and bring in new members, but get them engaged right from day one. With that, I have committed to hosting a monthly Zoom meeting with all new members in the entire district that will join us the previous 4 or 6 weeks, give or take. Jim Chamberlain, our membership chair, and I will host this meeting and then simply ask some questions. Why did you join Rotary? What are you hoping to get out of Rotary? And the other side of that coin, what are you hoping to contribute to Rotary? Let's see if we can get them engaged right off the bat and see how we can meet each other's needs so that every member in Rotary has a fulfilling Rotary experience. Way back when in 1945, Paul Harris said, "I would like to think that the pioneering days of Rotary have just begun. There are just as many new things to be done as ever there were. Kaleidoscopic changes are taking place, many of them without our will. Even to hang on to the fringe of this fast-changing world is about all most of us can do. Rotary simply must continue to pioneer or left behind in the rear of progress. I'm certain that none of us here want to be left in the rear of progress. But that means we have to constantly adapt and reevaluate how we do Rotary. And that's what we're here to do. Is there a social media guru here in this group? Which one is yours? Nobody wants to fess up. We will find one. The reason I asked that question is because we have to do a better job to tell our story. Have you sat down in recent memory and looked at what impact your club really has on your community, on your county, on your state, or the world for that matter? It might be an interesting exercise because I think it will blow your mind of what the impact really is that you have on this community. We have to tell that story. And it's not a matter of patting ourselves on the back. Rotarians are humble folk. We just do what needs to be done because we're people of action. But we have to tell that Rotary story, and we have to tell it often because that is what I believe will bring members to our doors. Everybody wants to join a group that is active and does good things. Before I go on to the district-wide project, Caroline, would you play the short clip, please?
Keep your eyes peeled, son. Now's the perfect time to spot Woody.
Who's Woody, Dad?
He's a legendary nutcracker, kind of like a local tour guide. He's not with the climbers, and I don't see him horseback riding.
He's not shopping downtown or playing mini golf either.
He's probably down by the...
It's short enough. We can do this 3 or 4 times. There's no problem.
Way down by the river. Oh, there he is. You see him? Unbelievable. Keep your eyes peeled, son. Now's the perfect time to spot Woody.
Who's Woody, Dad?
He's a legendary nutcracker, kind of like a local tour guide. He's not with the climbers, and I don't see him horseback riding.
He's not shopping downtown or playing mini golf either.
He's probably down by the river. Oh, there he is. You see him? Unbelievable.
Visit Leavenworth. Personal nutcracker not included.
So that's just a really quick invitation to come to Leavenworth next year. We'll have a conference promotional video a little later, but that'll give you an idea of what Leavenworth is about a little bit. It's a district-wide project this year. I would like all the clubs in our district to participate in building what we've dubbed a pollinator highway for District 5060. What that means is all the clubs in the district are asked to create pollinator gardens in their communities. Eric has driven me around, lots of fantastic projects that I've seen you do, all of which could potentially benefit from beautification with flowers, flowering shrubs, trees, take your pick. I'm hoping that all the clubs will participate in this project. Next year at the conference in Leavenworth, there will be a drawing for those clubs that do participate and tell us about it for a $1,000 grant that can be applied to a project of your choice. So please consider it and see if you can join us in that endeavor. We brought some Imagine Rotary seeds for you on the back there. There's some information on bees. I brought some district pins and some theme pins as well. And thank you, Daryl, for providing me this magic wand a while back. And so I'm going to wave this magic wand, if I could say it right, this magic wand, and then I know that your club will participate. Thank you, Darrell. Who has been at a district conference before? Quite a few hands. Thank you. How about a international conference? Who's planning to go to Melbourne? 1? 2? All right, that's a start. In this training process, and Darrell will remember this, RI asked us really early on, okay, the district governor, how many people are you bringing to the district to the international convention? I said, wow, really? How am I supposed to know that today? But I stuck my neck out there and I said, hey, there's 2,400 members. We should be able to do at least 50 people. And so that's the goal, but I am certain that with the crowd that I see here and the reception I've received and the other clubs I've already visited, we will likely exceed those numbers. But we will commit, or I will commit, to putting together a district event in Melbourne somewhere that we can get together and share some of the interesting Australian beer or whatever else may be around. A couple of years ago, the convention was in Hamburg, Germany, and lots of you were able to go. And at that time, we had purchased vests. Eric is modeling one of those vests right now. And we will probably continue that idea because a lot of you have them already. No reason to start over. So we will offer these vests again for those of us that are going to Melbourne so that we can stand out in a crowd when we enter a large room. But most importantly, really, who is planning to attend our own district conference in Leavenworth next year? That's better. Come on, folks, it's an hour and a half. For the Canadians, it's a little more difficult. For you guys, every hand should go up, right? Last year was close in Wenatchee, but it wasn't Leavenworth, right? So we have a little bit of an advantage there, I'm hoping. Don't tell anybody in Wenatchee I said that, but yeah, might be too late for that. But I'm hoping to see many of you in Leavenworth next year, and we're planning an interesting, different kind of conference. RI has been asking Rotarians and districts to have conferences that are more outward focused, because we have to tell our story to the general public more so than we have, and that's the plan. I'm hoping that we can do a Rotary Expo right downtown Leavenworth. One of the ideas is maybe we'll have a miniature golf tournament rather than golf tournament. 9 teams from Washington against 9 teams from BC. What do you think? That could be an interesting challenge. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be different and fun. There will be fun. There's lots of accommodations available for anybody. You pick and choose where you want to be. The majority of them serve breakfast, so we don't have to deal with that at the conference. You can have breakfast at your leisure and then come to the conference. So it'll be different. And with that, I think, Caroline, are we ready for the Leavenworth conference video, please?
Imagine you at your best. Purposeful, creative, inspired. In a place where natural beauty, architectural harmony, and rugged landscapes collide to provoke every sense. A place where a small community with a bold vision created the ultimate destination to dream big. You, coming together with some of the world's brightest minds, biggest hearts, and strongest spirits. All connected by a global vision, so compelling that it dares to invite, inspire, and include everyone, everywhere, every day. A world where people unite and take action to create lasting change for good. This is the vision, the ideal, the movement of Rotary. Those experienced in seeing the power of Rotary understand that it is probably the world's greatest human invention and its highest hope for humanity. The reality is there are far too few to benefit from such an experience in a time when so many are looking to make a difference in a world where every difference matters. Together, we can change that. The pandemic has challenged each of us to dream, to think, and act differently about what matters most. We have the opportunity to move from ordinary to extraordinary. Rotary is an idea worth living and giving. This is our moment. We are the ones, and this is our time. Together, we can make Rotary the next viral impact on the planet. It begins with you. Come be a part of the change that changed Rotary for good and for all.
Come and join us. Did you spot the rotary wheel in the moon as it was going down? If you're sitting in the back, maybe not, but it is there. I think we have a little bit of time, and so I'm going to take this moment to give you an idea of what this Rotary theme is all about. It was created by an Aboriginal artist who also created the Melbourne theme logo. In Aboriginal culture, the circle signifies the connections to each other. The circle and the dots together become a navigation star representing the 7 areas of Rotary focus. The solid green line is a digging stick. Rotarians are people of action, and it represents a tool for getting things done. At the same time, the colors, purple is for polio eradication. In case you don't know, when the kids get vaccinated around the world, their pinky gets painted purple so everybody knows that they have received their vaccine. Green is for the environment, white is for peace, one of our core missions, and together they represent the colors of the women's movement. Thank you so very much for having me. I look forward to working with all of you this year and seeing you all in Leavenworth. Thank you.
College. Karl, thank you for an inspiring message and fantastic videos. Wow. Leavenworth next year in May. Sounds like a good place to go. Yep. Well, you will see me. I'm committed to doing that. I know we're about out of time. We are probably past time, but let's see. I wanted to let Karl know that our recognition to you as our speaker today, we will make a donation to Rotary's Polio Plus Fund. So, thank you. A clarification, I guess I needed to make sure that we understand that the program at Southwest Rotary on the 26th at 4:30 is at the YVC Conference Center, right, Dwayne? Okay, get that right. Next week, opioids and our communities, a post-pandemic path forward. We'll be here with Ed Bilski. And after that, Frank Pritchard, Absolute True and Improbable Rise of Pickleball, also here at the Convention Center. Thank you for coming today. Enjoy the rest of the week and the weekend. See you next week.